Here is how to finish a cashmere sleeve armhole with a clean binding, even when the garment is just a single layer with no lining. First, fold your binding strip on the bias and stitch one line to set the fold. Then fold it again, match the edges, and place it right next to the seam on your machine. Make sure the binding does not overlap the seam, because overlapping will create extra thickness. Sew the binding using a 0.5 centimeter seam allowance and keep it slightly tight so it wraps cleanly. When you reach the curved areas, pull the binding just a little tighter. This keeps the finished edge from bulging outward and helps it lie flat and look smooth. When you get to the joining point of the binding, cut the ends on a diagonal. This reduces bulk in the seam. After stitching, trim the seam allowance a little smaller to prevent any raw fibers from sticking out. Flip the binding over and stitch along the edge with about a 0.1 centimeter top stitch. Make sure the binding is smoothed out at every step so the stitching line stays even. Do not let the binding peek out on the outside of the garment because a hidden edge looks much cleaner. At the final joining point, press and secure the seam so the raw ends stay tucked in and do not show. And that is it. Your single-layer cashmere armhole binding is done. Pretty simple, right? If you liked this tutorial, give it a like, save it, and follow for more.